So what's going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video where today we are going over everything so far that we have for Black Ops 5 or Black Ops Cold War, whatever the next game is called in 2020. I usually do this every month or every few weeks where we go over all of the new information that we have so far, since this is the latest a COD has ever been revealed. In fact, it hasn't been officially shown to us yet. We are now past the point where every COD would have been revealed. This is now the latest point we've ever gotten to, which is pretty strange. We know that this year's COD, a few different things are going on, having two main developers, being Sledgehammer Games and Treyarch. We know that Treyarch was supposed to be making Call of Duty 4 next year in 2021, and this year's was Sledgehammer. But about halfway through this year's Call of Duty development cycle, Activision put Treyarch in charge, and Sledgehammer are now assisting on the side. So over the past few months, pretty much since Christmas time, we've had leaks on this year's COD. That's nothing out of the norm. We always get that. But we haven't seen something super concrete like a leaked image. We have had leaked gameplay, although it looked like a very early build. The name of the game has changed a few times. We've had Call of Duty Vietnam, Call of Duty Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, even Black Ops 5. I don't think we're still 100% on what the name is going to be. I believe we're between Black Ops Cold War and just Black Ops, since we know that it's going to be a reboot of the original Black Ops game. But the little bits of information that we do have so far look very interesting, so let's get into it. Anyway, since my last video on this year's COD, which was a few weeks ago, we've had some new information since then, and I want to go over every single detail. It's been confirmed by a few leakers and people that have inside information that this game is going to have a campaign, zombies, multiplayer, and Warzone. If you're wondering, okay, how is Warzone gonna work? It's a part of Modern Warfare, not the Black Ops series. Well, technically Warzone is its own separate game. It is just called Call of Duty Warzone. So it looks like the new Black Ops is gonna include Warzone. I would imagine, since Black Ops is gonna take place during the Cold War and the Vietnam era, having modern weapons wouldn't make sense. So I would expect to see weapons from the Black Ops campaign, and the same goes for the map. It has been leaked that there will be a new map which will take place somewhere in Russia. It was leaked some time ago that Modern Warfare is going to be getting a new map anyway, which will take place in Kazakhstan. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's a fictional place in the Modern Warfare campaign. Whether or not that's going to be the Black Ops map or just another map we'll get before the release of the next game, I don't really know. But this 100% tells us that there is a link between Black Ops and Modern Warfare. And we know this because someone by the name of BK Tor over on Twitter leaked that Sergeant Frank Woods is coming to Warzone as a playable character. Now, I can't show you due to copyright, the video will end up getting taken down, but there are audio quotes in the game files from Woods. What other reason would Activision have him in Warzone if they weren't planning on tying it to COD 2020. Since it's going to be a reboot, most if not all of the original characters from Black Ops 1 will be returning. Woods, Mason, Hudson, and many more. If you think of it like Modern Warfare, how that's a reboot of the original game, we have all of the old characters, however things in the story are slightly different. That's more than likely how the new Black Ops reboot is going to be. The same old characters, but the story is going to change. If you listen to these audio quotes from Woods, you can tell it's a different voice actor. It isn't James C. Burns who did Woods originally. And if you watch my Black Ops 5 videos, I would say a few months ago, I also said this then, because James C. Burns, if you stay up to date with him, you'll know he doesn't have a great relationship with Activision. He's come out and publicly said he's not working on another Black Ops game. He isn't voice acting Woods anymore, so it's going to be a different voice actor, which is fine for me because Price has a new voice actor. I think he sounds great. So yeah, Woods is coming to Warzone as a playable character, which shows that the Modern Warfare universe and the Black Ops universe are linked. For me, this is also more proof that Warzone is going to be included in Black Ops. This isn't the only thing though. You might have noticed around Verdansk there are some very suspicious things going on. Inside of the map you can find things such as the RCXD, a spy plane. In the bunkers there is some very interesting Cold War technology, loads of things that point to the Cold War era. And then there is this, an Easter egg that was found by Real Geek Gaming. I believe this is on one of the latest gunfight maps. I think it's called Trench. But if you go into the bunkers you will find this, a teddy bear with red hair on, sitting at a desk with a typewriter, I think that's what that is, a suspicious looking radio, and a cigarette on the table. Okay, that might not mean anything to you, but this looks very much like the opening scene for Black Ops. The teddy bear being the red-haired woman, we have the cigarette and the ashtray on the side, pretty much the exact same radio, the Cold War looking typewriter or Morse code machine, whatever that is. There is a reason why Infinity Ward would have put this down here, and I think this is referencing the opening cinematic for Black Ops.
Ascension 7/15 1 2 19 7 25 6 13 6 7 15 14 0.
In the game files, you can also find some script which is intended for the future. This is clearly going to be an Easter egg somewhere down the line for Warzone, but it's a bunch of codes that's going to be read out by the Russian announcer. It reads this: redacted. Every journey begins with a single step. This is step 1. This way. Everything is ready. A labour camp, a hellhole called Vorkuta, 5423. What is it? 5, 11, 19, 45, of course, lucky 7. Ascension, 7, 15, 1, 2, 19, 7, 25, 6, 13, 6, 7, 15, 14, 0. That, what I've just read out, is script within Modern Warfare, but if you didn't notice, that is also part of what the woman that you just heard on Black Ops in the intro read out as well. And the Gaming Revolution over on Twitter had something really interesting to say about this. He said, COD 2020, which we know is codenamed Project Zeus, every Call of Duty has its own codename. It normally doesn't mean anything, but Zeus is the codename for this year's COD. But he says when you translate the Ascension code, which I just read out for you, it details the Kennedy assassination, hinting that Mason killed him. And there's also a book which is called The Council of Zeus that's about an alternative timeline if Kennedy wasn't assassinated. So could the codename of COD 2020, Project Zeus, be more than just a codename? Could it be hinting to what we could be seeing in the storyline? Could Black Ops 5 show us the Cold War in an alternate reality where Kennedy didn't get assassinated? That would be super interesting. Obviously that's just a theory. So if you put everything together, it seems that somewhere along the line, maybe a month from now, a few weeks, we don't know when, but a big event is going to be happening in Warzone that will reveal Call of Duty 2020. Hearing the Ascension code read out by the Russian announcer, and then we have the nuclear warhead and all of the Black Ops Cold War items in the bunkers, it could be that the map gets destroyed, and in that event, somehow they reveal COD 2020. Since we know it's going to have Warzone, that would be a perfect tie-in. Before I finish the video, I do have some more information for you guys, especially on multiplayer and a little bit on the campaign. It's been said that the standard minimap is going to be returning, the one that we had before Modern Warfare, so red dots will be appearing as normal. Swimming is going to be included in both the campaign and multiplayer, possibly in zombies. We don't really know too much about that right now. We're also going to have unlimited sprint. There's going to be no doors in multiplayer, but there will be in Warzone. Dead silence isn't going to be a thing in Black Ops, so they've scrapped that. There won't be gunsmith. Instead, we're going to have the pick 10 system that we usually get with the Black Ops games. There's going to be no weapon mounting and no specialists. As for when we can expect the game, apparently it's still on course for the end of the year, so October, November time, Q4. From what people who have inside sources have said, so far there are 10 multiplayer maps that are completed. The game's going to include field upgrades like Modern Warfare, so that's the ammo crate or stopping power rounds. Score streaks is going to be returning, I assume, instead of kill streaks. They're going back to 150 health, which we had in BO4, however, we're going to have auto heal. The standard game size will be 6v6, compared to BO4 I think it was 5v5. And that's pretty much everything we have. The game so far looks on track. We do have 2 big developers working on it, so even though Treyarch came in halfway through, Sledgehammer would have completed half of the game anyway, and now having 2 developers work on it at the same time, it could be interesting. And then the only mode we don't really know too much about is zombies. It's definitely gonna happen, but that's really all we have. Are we gonna get a brand new storyline, something we haven't seen before? Are they gonna continue with the Chaos story because it was left on a cliffhanger in Black Ops 4, so I can't see them not finishing it? Or are we going to get a reboot of the Ether story? I think this also depends on if Sledgehammer originally intended zombies to be in the game anyway, because they could have worked on zombies for a year and a half before Treyarch came in. If they did, then we could see something totally new, whereas if they didn't, and zombies only became a thing when Treyarch came in, then we could see something that we've seen before. But we really have no information on that, so there we go. That is everything we know so far on Black Ops. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, drop a like rating. Maybe in the next month we'll get the reveal in Warzone or a trailer. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye.